Hey, high school volunteers. Man, I'm so excited for this Sunday because we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Not different. It's going to be very similar in a lot of ways. There's one minor thing that we're going to be doing different. I'm excited for that. We're going to continue in our series through Jeremiah, and this week we're going to start talking about the teachings of Jeremiah. And one of the thematic ideas that Jeremiah just keeps getting after with Judah is this idea of idol worship. And where we're sitting in history in the Western United States, 2,000 years after the writing of Scripture, we look at that idea of idol worship and there's a big disconnect because we aren't actually like literally bowing down in front of like a little statue or anything like that. And so we're not going to be going with that idea that very literally like what Jeremiah is talking about. Instead, we're going to be tying kind of two very theologically minded people, their ideas together into this modern era. Because one is from John Calvin. His quote is that man's nature, so to speak, is a perpetual factory of idols. And then Tim Keller comes alongside that and says that an idol is anything more important to you than God, anything that absorbs your heart and imagination more than God, and anything that you seek to give you only what God can give you. So what we're going to be doing is with our high schoolers, we're going to be busting out this priorities board. And then we're basically going to be talking through like different things that we put at the top of this list with achievement, social media, sex, dating, money, God, our physical appearance, achievement. I think I already said that. Anything like that and where it goes on this list. And we're going to be talking about how anything that sits above where we put God is an idol. Now, why I am really excited about this is because this Sunday night has the full potential to do two things to our students. And I want you to be thinking about this and praying about it beforehand. It has three things, three possibilities. The first possibility is it does nothing. And a student is like, oh, cool talk, and then goes home. Very possible. The second possibility is that this could be a really big enlightening night for some high schooler. They could be listening to this and thinking through it and processing it, talking through it with you and your small group, and it could click. And they could be like, oh my gosh, I am putting things above God. And if that happens, what I want to encourage you to is to really hyperfixate on God's grace and mercy and love. Like if somebody is putting achievement above God, they're not a terrible person. Highlighting something in somebody's life and then calling them out on it and making them feel shameful are two different things. And we want to highlight something and then encourage them to grow. We don't want to be like, oh man, you're a terrible person. You put achievement. And I know that you're not like this, but I just want to emphasize like swing heavy on the grace this week for those kids. Other kids may hear this, may talk through it, and may get very pharisaical. And we don't want that either. We don't want a student to be like, oh yeah, man, I am putting, social media above God. So I need to just quit social media and never log on to Instagram ever again. And none of us can have Instagram because it's a problem for me. So it's probably a problem for everybody. Like we don't want that either. And so with that circumstance, if somebody's like, wow, we all need to stop caring about achievement because I put that over God. What I would encourage you to is be thinking through that and praying through that, how you would address that situation. Me personally, I would probably individualize it a lot more and say like, hey, maybe you do need to cut social media out of your life cold turkey. But that doesn't go for everybody. Help high schoolers look at the larger perspective of everybody rather than just themselves, if they're taking that kind of stance. So all of this to say, I really think that this can be a great night. I think that this can be a really cool moment for our high schoolers to start thinking through, like, where do they put God in their lives? How do they rank him compared to other things in their lives? And I think that it will lead to some really cool, really open and honest conversations. And I'm excited for that. So this is a week to kind of flex and show just that your small group can be really safe and the students can be vulnerable. So all that being said, guys, I love getting to serve with you on Sunday nights. I think that is just absolutely the highlight of my week every single week. And I cannot wait to serve with you again this Sunday night.